Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release a crochet tutorial every week. And this week I'm bringing to you this elegant man scarf. It's really easy to crochet and features two different stitches. So the first half of the scarf features a crocheted knit-like stitch, and then the second half of the pattern features the griddle stitch, and then a simple single crochet border is added all around the scarf. And obviously I will be going through this step by step, and the free pattern is available on my blog as always. The link is in the down bar. And like I said, this is a very beginner friendly crochet scarf, and it's perfect for a gift. And it's a very quick project also because it uses chunky yarn. So for this project I used one skein of James C. Brett Marble Chunky. And this comes in a really big 200-gram ball. It's 100% acrylic and I used shade MC6. And this ball of yarn features 341 yards of yarn. And like I said, I only needed one skein for the whole scarf. And so for this project I also used a 7mm crochet hook, as well as a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors, and that's it. That's all you will be needing for this project. I will be using US terms with British terms in brackets, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That really helps grow my my channel and it's really appreciated, so thank you. And if you are interested in more crochet content, don't forget to check out my Patreon page. Again, the link is in the down bar. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump into the tutorial. Okay, so to begin this tutorial, you will be making a slip knot. So just go ahead and make a slip knot. Pop your hook through and tighten. And so now you are going to be chaining 176. So that's 176 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've chained less, but you should have 176 chains, which is the entire length of the scarf, because we are going to be working the stitches lengthwise. So once you've got your 176 chains, you are going to be half double crocheting into the third chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3 and go into that third chain with a half double crochet. And so to half double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go directly into the chain, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and go through all 3 loops. And that creates a half double crochet, and the first chain 2 counts as a half double crochet. Now go into the next chain with a half double crochet once again. And again, just place a half double crochet into each and every chain across until you reach the end of this chain. Okay, so this is what I have for now, which is row 1 of the knit look stitch, because we are starting this scarf with the knit look stitch. So once you have this, you are simply going to be chaining 1, turn your work, and this chain 1 counts as a turning chain. So now I'm going to show you how to create your knit look stitch, and so to do so I need to show you the stitch, the loop into which we are going to be working our stitches for this next row. So usually we would always go through 2 loops here, so the 2 top loops is where we would always place our crochet hook for the next row. However, what we are going to be doing, instead of placing our crochet hook into these 2 loops, we are going to be going through this front loop here. So this is the front loop that's placed at the very front of the stitch, and this is how we are going to be creating the knit look stitch. So I'm just going to show you. So this chain 1, as I said, does not count as a stitch. So what we are going to be doing is going directly into the first stitch with a half double crochet and go into that front loop like so. And now do the same for the next stitch with a half double crochet, of course. Go through that loop. And so on, and continue doing this until you reach the end of this row, and then I'll show you how to finish off this row and how to create your your third row. And so I've almost finished placing all my stitches. However, we are going to be placing a half double crochet into the front of the chain 2 from the previous row, because if you remember, we started the first row with a chain 2, which is now here, and into which we have just placed our last stitch. So now for row 3, chain 1, turn your work, and again this counts as it does not count as a stitch, it counts as a turning chain. So now what we are going to be doing is placing half double crochets in the back loop only of the stitches. So as I showed you earlier, these are the 2 loops at the top of the stitch, but for this row we are simply going to be going through the back loop only. So that will create the stitch we are looking for. So we've chained 1, and we are going to be placing our half double crochet into the back loop only of that first stitch here, and into the next stitch, the back loop only, and the next stitch, and the next stitch, and just go through every stitch until you reach the end of this row. Okay, so this is what we have for now, and so I finished row 3, and I've placed a half double crochet into each and every stitch across. And now chain 1, turn your work, and what we are going to be doing is just repeating row 2. So just go ahead and go through that front stitch here for the next row. So you see it's a simple pattern repeat row 2 and row 3, and yeah, so just repeat, just carry this on until the end of this row, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished this row, and now I'm going to chain 1. And as you can see, my pattern is starting to look like it should, so that's really amazing. So now for this next row, we are repeating row 3. So just go ahead, we've chained 1, turned our work, and just repeat row 3 into the back loop only of this project. So just carry on with this pattern, repeating, alternating row 2 and 3 until you have 7 rows in total. So you should have 7 rows in total, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm working on the 5th, as you can see. So finish off the 5th and then add another 2, and then once you've done that, I'll show you how to finish off your scarf. Okay, so I've just finished this row and I'm going to show you the second half of the pattern. So of course you should have more rows, like I said, 7 in total, but obviously this is a sample, so I'm directly going to show you what to do after you have your 7 rows. So once you have your 7 rows, we are going to start the griddle stitch for the second half of the scarf. And so to begin the next row, you are going to be chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and this counts as a double crochet. So this first chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and it goes with this first stitch here. So we are going to be working our second stitch into the second stitch here. So now go into that stitch directly with your hook, pull up a loop, go through both loops, and that's a single crochet. Now go into the next stitch with a double crochet, so wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, you've got 3 loops on your hook, take your yarn and go through 2 loops, take your yarn and go through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet. Now go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and go into the next stitch with a double crochet, and go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and then a double crochet, and just alternate single crochets and double crochets until you reach the end of this row. So okay, so I finished this row and I finished on a single crochet. So now you are simply going to be repeating the row that I've just showed you. So chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. This counts as a double crochet. Turn your work. And now what you are going to be doing is placing a single crochet into the next stitch. And as you can see, we will not only be alternating double crochets and single crochets, but also we are alternating them from row to row, meaning that when you see a single crochet from the previous row, you will be placing a double crochet on top of it, and when you see a double crochet, you will be placing a single crochet on top of it. So now let's go back to this row and place a double crochet, and then place a single crochet into the next stitch, and then a double crochet, and then a single crochet, and a double crochet. So you see it's a very simple pattern repeat, just alternating double crochets and single crochets, and that is what creates the griddle stitch. So I'm placing my last single crochet into the chain 3 from the previous row, and this is what it looks like. So this is what you should have, and so just go ahead and carry on with the griddle stitch for 8 rows in total. So just carry on with this pattern until you have 8 rows in total, and then I'll show you how to create your border. So let's just pretend that I've done my 8 rows. Obviously yours will be a lot larger, but like I said, this is a sample and it's just to show you the stitches. So once you've done your 8 rows of the griddle stitch, what you are going to be doing is the border. Chain 1, turn your work, and this counts as your first single crochet, and we are going to be placing a single crochet border all the way around. So go into the next stitch and place a single crochet into that, and place a single crochet into the next stitch, and into the next stitch, and into the next stitch, until you reach the end of this row, which I almost have because obviously my sample is smaller. And once you reach the corner here, So this was the side of the stitches. We are going to be turning the scarf and working on this edge. And so to do so, you are going to be placing a single crochet all across this edge. But this is what I call the wrong side of the stitches. So that means you don't have a specific stitch into which you are going to be working. So you need to make sure that you are placing your single crochets evenly all across this edge. So just go ahead and place your single crochets evenly across this edge. Now turn your work, and now we are going to be working on this side, which is the side of the chain. So the first chain that we did. So just go ahead and carry this on until you reach the end of this row, and then obviously turn your work and work your single crochets on this side, and then I'll meet you back here to show you how to finish off this border. Okay, so I finished this round. I'm just going to slip stitch through the first chain one that we have made. So just slip stitch through that and then fasten off. So snip off your yarn and pull your yarn through like so, and this is it. So obviously your scarf will be a lot bigger, but I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That really helps out my channel, and in the meantime I hope you have a great week. Bye bye.